my everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Ha-ha. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Everybody say, ah. How can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. See, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are.
So say yeba wakamuna yade and komo yade ebro miminda area biano yade ebro the community and the law ebre ena aswing efemuriku frame pon. I'm going to be the host of this program between now and 6 p.m. which is the next 2 hours here in the UK. Now today we're looking at a very interesting topic. With your screen no swa. You were a very proud mother and a very peaceful young person. Lying there. Na yebeka ena eneneba enwasem. We're talking about a mother who is relying on her child to apply for leave to remain. And in this situation, the child does not live with the mother. How do we do that? How come that situation is what we're looking at now? So, situation and eba. So you the chance for you to join us via text and ear and voice. Now, with me, I send a message and it will concern no Eddie Abreu. Meka will say you may a BWF Solicitors and I will cry and say Emma Eddie Abreu. Abusia is the community and the law. Okay. Me da se uguso hweye me da se wenya bre na adaje se woni yen etna wodwumedi so the community and the law. Community and the law dwumedi a me da wi bia ye de ebra wo ye BWF Solicitors lawyer for empanimfo a wo UK Chrome ha ye ne won na edi enkomo ye ne won na edi nkita ho na afi ye de your questions and concerns ahodo na de ato won anim na yebisa won mramu nsam say immigration sam say when you buy in terms some say adwuma say opese lawyer ni bibi ma particularly say a fan mra ho and na when the BWF Solicitors and na edin kita ho BWF Solicitors 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road no so 7 Sisters North London N15 4 NP na yekoha mamencho kwan no ye fa Victoria line na wasi 7 Sisters usifi train no mu use exit number 2 opie free exit number 2 no dan si wanim no watu den wase e frɛ no Anna House 4th floor ho na omo Monday to Friday every anopa 9:30 ekopem anwumere 6 o'clock and a BWF Solicitors adwuma every weekend so abetimi contacting but I know the appointment nko BWF Solicitors yemfrɛ won way 0208 493 7340 0208 493 7340 enti se wo pese umramu nsam any ehon keka ho say application say immigration sam ne ade ne nyina ekoyie dia ene na wo de wo ho BWF Solicitors oyam hwade on pepa ne nsakwa meba
ye fema ye wo London ya ji abasobodie bebre ne ya redare e wo mransem eye legal services BTC family law matrimonial law immigration dispute resolution Ghanaian customary any family law wo BWF die yen solicitors e de nigie ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nya den kra yen partner penimpa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer e wo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years BWF Solicitors kura won ho enti se ba na busuansem bi te se child care eye abofrahwe mu awaregya ye ho twuma mentwe ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso ye child care any family team no nimnia wo famu eweni ya wo bremu enu ntine ye to ye mbo asema wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu ye senior partner obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje wo family any matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw kra wo pe advice wo immigration sensem ho wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare wo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration work permit student visa ho totoye any entry clearance visas family visas ni appeals yen senior partner a member na wasagina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel enti se taiwachi a wonni haw kra ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa non krompe mu ekosi enumre no nsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene dan so appointment nko free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm ye wo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road London N15 4NP 793 7 Sisters Underground nso a eye kwantie bi yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu san ye barrister ya gina tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law wa advise local authorities official solicitors office ni solicitors be bree efa Ghanaian law hunye na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so for Ghanaian law
BWF Solicitors and anyone atwetwe enkomo na afi wama yen one message no anything say wabaswa pacho bomodian say obe pick a link and then I share to uko page no so you like the page, pick up the link, share with your friends and your groups near there. Now if you click the notification button, no one say adoma kitwa black one be edaho. Click so na subscribe sebeya. The other better platform no subia na unsa ebe kebi. BWF Solicitors yeda wan say waboyen na fi yede nkomo yi ebrewo. Na ene me pese ye nyina ye hwe anema bi wo system no mu a e wo se yetimi enya ho emfaso titru eye won wo enyuma ahodo a wo de eba fa amanfo e de free outside of the UK they about say unim say Brexit by etwemu say obi free outside of the UK aba be yejuma ye wo shorted occupation any list be bree e wo ho amanfo etimi fa so eba na wabaye adwuma unyafi na okonenam contract bia ukwa ohwewachi ye ma proper license na wode ana say visa na wode aba baye adwuma na sa woba wuramu na baye adwuma na BWF Solicitors any AD and common no chekere yen obo amanfo nso so wo apply for sponsorship license omo call won ho no obo woni ade nyina no na wo chekere yen ekwan a ye be fa so ahunu se ne mra no sitie titru ewo yen adwuma ho na de ode ema and the in screen. So no say there are 5 main reasons that the employer may use in dismissing an employee where the employee has done something serious, unacceptable, or inappropriate capability when the employee is not able to do the job that they were employed to do. The redundancy where the employee's role no longer exists within the business or where the work they are employed to do is no longer required. And our failure was say where the employee can no longer do their job legally for some other substantial reasons. So obetimi and about substantial reason maybe anything maybe a lawyer ain't trying me or say even when the employer can prove any of the 5 reasons, they still have to follow fair and suitable procedure. I know your section 98 of the Employment Act of 1996. Me able to so no say me who was from call me a special guest me resource person lawyer Asmah photo da so enunti sabre ma me kwai na afi me ne lawyer Charles Asmah and twetwe enkomo me mana kwaba na afi ono nso so enchia wo sonkokra ewo adwumadie yi so lawyer Charles Asmah me ma wakwaba
yenua
na po me
yamiadum na wo
ewiabo edi Ghana de adwuma mo boko
yamiadum pa egusu nkakra
good ya nyame ase enne say enkomo no eye abusia enkomo but yenhwe adwuma yi mo nso so kakra ne yenhwe say ebre kakra ni na mama ye hunu say care worker route nsensemi enenam amanfo tro mo English omo nya employment contracts abedwuma but opa na say obeye adwuma ewo ha embra ene nhihye ewo nti wo say woteni emabi ase yankasa samra but obi betimi afọ wadwuma na se onhia wadwuma ne biwo anase bi opeso oyi wadi a ho enhyehyɛ eno na madarima moma ye ehunu ye se we wo ye screen so mo ehunu se kwan obi betimi agina so afa ayi obi adi madarima obi kan say this is English but a technical a nearma lawyer for no moma yetimi ehunu etiase me pacho wadarima sani ya me yeda no bibi na ni so kakra
yo me that's bebre etie for we'll share we'll greet you after this so let's move on straight to share our thoughts on the nugget for the week. So we are looking at employment law, and we're looking at section 98 of the Employment Rights Act 1996.
Okay.
And this goes to the employees because say jumerura si obeyi wedia as a sort of famra kwai so.
Okay.
Nti mrano a offer so eyi wedie no kwan ben na eda ho a obetumi afa eyi wedie a ne ho emba asem. Nti mrano section 98 na all can say wo yi obi edi. As say unhu say nyoma we na obetumi adan afa so a we na edi a wo ho enkoba asem. Empo you still have to do certain things. It can also say conduct. Nti e ka say conduct a usuban ewo adwuma no mu. The suban a obede na die ewo adwuma no mu no will determine whether the employer will keep engaging you or not. And see, most of the time, we are looking at gross misconduct.
Okay.
This is for adwuma mu a yebama handbook. The do's and
the don'ts
of you as an employee. Until you cross a certain barrier, then it becomes so gross that you cannot be kept any longer. Then you have to be dismissed summarily.
Okay.
Summary dismissal. Now, say, no employer no be so right then AUAD.
Okay.
Until wo employee no say wo da wo so say nyoma ben na me ya employee no betumi yi me dia ehia mpo say obeye nhwehwemu ansa. Nti se bi wa bokro no we adwuma mu ho wa ye say there are certain things that we ya employee betumi dey wa specify enso e won den handbook
no mo.
It's also important that the employer no by the or specify those things e won handbook more the employee ni say enyoma we gross misconduct.
It is a way no betimi
ayidi. Misconduct. In some misconduct no ye one ya so gross, serious that you cannot be entertained any longer. And ye one ya influence manageable. You can be warned and cautioned to continue not to work so that you don't do that again.
Okay.
And it's a gross misconduct, then under Section 8, the employer has the right to terminate your employment.
Okay.
And your capability. Capability is why you have to
Okay.
and you require certain skill, experience, and knowledge to be able to perform. And you say, could you be a human away and win to me and perform a human no dear? And the employer no ewo to me so because I found somebody and win to me yet. Science, as I say, but the employer must prove, say, why everything that is necessary to make you capable. So there's also a duty on the employer.
No, then also to make you so also train you and say.
So if you listen to me, you have to train me.
Okay.
To be able to perform to expectation. So you won't just get up and tell me, say, I can't do it. And therefore, you rely on Section 98 of the law to terminate my employment. You should have demonstrated that you have done everything reasonable to enhance my capability. But it hasn't worked. And that's why training is very important. What policies do you have in place to ensure that those who are not capable are made capable?
Okay.
Then the next one is what we call legality. Legality has to do with anything that the law abhors, so that employer no doesn't have the right to keep you anymore.
Okay.
Instead, it's a rather restricted employer no to keep you if you have done certain things. I'm ranu echery. I'm ready. If you're involved in criminality, maybe you are and you've been charged and you are standing trial. Then on that basis, no makwan say employer no obe keep you until say you be acquitted and discharged. And they say be do asem then ewie. And now so say edwuma na we are driver. We hear license clean to be able to perform the driving work. Now for whatever reason we are committed driving offense. I mean, I do a license if you say me are banned for 2 years, don't drive, you are disqualified or would you manage about driving? Now what about driving so you gave you me so this one is employer terminate you are why because this has nothing to do with capability, it has to do with the fact that what to emrabia e work room santi ejuma no won't mean because employer ni keep on also ato emra.
Okay.
So obia ya disqualify no need license na wa fa ne say on drive emao so what mra no bi no and so obia mra no makwan say oni nkwala bi and as a vulnerable adult be ye especially healthcare.
Okay.
Be ye adwuma na nimpa no is on the DBS banned list. Now wakofa no say would ne be den adwuma.
Okay.
Regardless of the skill or competence of mo no mra no emma wo kwan say obefa sign nimpa yi. This nimpa no wo mu na wakoto mra no then you can terminate by act of law or by operation of law. See, an employer no one right so be terminate too. Then we move on to redundancy. Redundancy is also one reason employer no betumi agina so aka say ejuma no yentumi and the contract yentumi into aso biem. Now redundancy is say ejuma no bi eni ho ebiem.
Okay.
Ejuma na ya fa say be yenti say ejuma no bi ni ho biem a then on what grounds will you continue to
Mami hear scenario where say ya fa me say bi a me driver. Nti say car na me kano. Essaya. Can I be made redundant? No, sir, no, Emrama Hokwan. Second, I say there's a possibility so between a repair. I'm a try education.
Okano will say the object or the facilities you need to perform your work, and then you're adequate.
Okay.
The employer has to decide resource now you're available to perform your duty. But we are looking at the fact that driving work, we don't need it any longer. Maybe we have automated our systems. So it's been set such that we don't need manual drivers. Then we don't need human drivers anymore. So that is why the employer will rely on the operation of the law. Say by act of redundancy, however, the law requires that it has to be on certain grounds. It has to be organizational, it has to be technical, and it has to be educational, economic reasons.
Okay.
And the organizational reasons say, BS, we have automated our systems.
Yeah.
And the first one and impact all around exercises and everything is okay. So most of the retail shops, they are going to install a lot of self-checkout
systems.
Five have become redundant. But it is organizational reason, technical reason in this case, or even economic reason. There has been hardship across board due to COVID. Ejumano, we've downsized. And due to economic reasons, it's not profitable to perform this activity anymore. Can we make the person redundant? Yes. But you have to go through the process to ensure that the people are aware, to also see that if there is a way of redeploying them. And if you've done everything necessary, then on the factor of redundancy, ejumano employer is right.
Okay.
Then we're looking at some other substantial reason. Also, so far, you can your objective. But the
last one, and then I make say some substantial reason. Substantial reason, no, employer no never boni trim say a reason we intimate need power in your
right. And yes, so be boni trim, but it becomes obvious, say, due to this reason, which is not listed among the four we have already identified, but it's equally substantial enough, based on which the job cannot be performed. So in this case, it is not the reason of the, it could be, say, it has to do with the employee. It could also be, say, it has to do with act of nature. Imagine, say, be a building a woman, a year, a jumain, avenue, KSCC, a young crop for a dime. Now, all of a sudden, I say, a hano. You obian to me for you su and you find yes I ejumaya ye. This is publication, isn't it? They are doing broadcasting. And I'm say sabi find yes for broadcasting purposes. What can you do? Wouldn't me. And for some other substantial reason, me I may say ejumano, I can't perform it. The employer may say ejumano and to us be. Also I will be chami wa hono. Because baby I some other substantial reason. So some other substantial reason you can see say it's not discretion for the employer to say weigh a substantial, but we weigh the fact and see say of course it's objective enough to say and therefore the employment cannot continue.
It is employment and intimate and was as you saying does the employer necessarily have to compensate me, say, maybe with apart from the fact that gross misconduct in TBI you because and then when I walk about chrono when I acquire criminal activity being but apart from that other reasons I was here compensating me.
So we have to weigh the options and see whose fault it is.
Okay.
Landlord may say this place will no longer be available. Or Jenny dying. Fine. Because I didn't employ them pay baby. Now you move room call. Now if as a result of that an employer no crack say okay and we cannot continue. You can say well and send the wafo agreement I don't know say or pay money be amount. But this is the case due to some other substantial reason into as well. It's not a case of redundancy because we hear compensation. So redundancy threshold because then you have to go through the redundancy policy to make the person redundant and pay them off. But with some other substantial reason, it becomes a 50-50 argument. Because the employer will also win at court. Say, well, we cannot compensate the person if the job cannot continue and it's not our fault. So it depends on the fact. You can go to court and argue it, and the judge may say, well, it will not be fair to the employer to pay you off whilst the job is actually not going to be performed anymore, continue. Now, again, conduct. Can the person be made be dismissed on the operation of conduct? We share not get now the buyer and see one one. Or see in all cases, it has to be fair.
Okay.
So even when the employer can prove any of the 5 reasons, they still have to follow a fair and suitable procedure. Now, if it's a matter of conduct, it has to follow procedure. So we are looking at case law procedure and ACAS procedure. ACAS is a government organization which was from arbitration, conciliation, some
okay.
And now so say case law procedure, the case of Birchall. Now the case of Birchall, they can say, so we should say nipa na ya boni bi, enti we yin idea. That is the opinion you have, but that in susuyano should be legitimate.
Okay.
Na ema wo hu say ejuma no untumi ene no enye nipa no nye ejuma no. A wo gina so eyi na edi no, it should also be fair so we be yisa nipa no eden edi. But how do you prove that you're fair? You have to follow your own procedures. So what policy do you have in place for dismissing people in terms of conduct? Do you have disciplinary procedure in place? Do you have policy for investigating such conduct? If it is not misconduct, handbook, so we need handbook. How do you then tell me that this is misconduct?
And the lawyer, the attorney say ufa obi adwuma, say eye nipa baako, say ye mienu, say ye dudu obi ano. Wo a wo fa adwuma no, you should have your employee handbook.
You must have employee handbook to guide the employee as to mention do's and don'ts. So the employee is aware of the thresholds in terms of conduct. Because there are certain conduct that will trigger Section 98 dismissal. What we call summary dismissal. And other dismissals will trigger right for the employee to argue at court for unfair dismissal or wrongful dismissal.
Okay.
So your unfair dismissal, what it means is that when you penalty by operation of law, but the dismissal was not fair. How do you know say and you're fair? Because one follow wow policy so and yet necessary. What if you don't have policy? Then how will you then?
Let's say you might be able to tomorrow.
Well, and see, but see that is where
like that. See. Because me were juma ketu bi am afa nipa be 2 or 3 0 contract and I'm no more I don't care. Some cover handbook, I think I make up print. So many people are flouting the law.
Well, you see, you only get to know that somebody is flouting the law if it is obvious that they have flouted the law. You are saying many people, you are citing yourself. So we can say, but maybe you are using yourself and thinking, say, everybody else is operating like the way you are doing it. And granted, say some people may be behaving the manner you are your way no area ne dia. And we can say for no so will be BS already. But the presumption is say Obia nim yes so and therefore they are doing what they have to do right. Let's say we not sorry frack or banner 1 year, that's not an excuse. But remember we are talking about section 98 rights of the employer to dismiss. Okay. Without any issue. Okay. And when you pick it back, we say in all this, you must follow due process.
And it must be fair.
Yeah. Because if you don't follow due process, then you have not been fair with the dismissal. Okay. And the only one even summary dismissal, no, because say, well, we can't work with you any longer, and therefore today leave, we have to show that it is fair. What is fair means that you have already made me aware. So nyoma way will trigger misconduct, gross misconduct. Okay.
Abusia Safi na wajoine ya lawyer the ochichi yemu the ewo in screen so say we shall say there are 5 main reasons that employer may use in dismissing an employee: conduct, capability, redundancy, where the employee can no longer do their job legally, and for some other substantial reason. From Section 98 of the Employment Rights Act of 1996. Even when the employer can prove any of the 5 reasons, they still have to follow a fair and suitable procedure. And no, and in comma, you did kind abre war na yetwaso. Me say me kai will say oni ewo BW radio so oni ewo BW TV so ye wo dodo na so a wo hwe yen ewo BWF Solicitors Facebook page, BWF Solicitors YouTube page. Maminko lawyer ba chiam na fe wadane ho di properly a but maminko na me nua no ma mo ewo so no me hwe ne omo so e de ekọ kwabna tablet. I'm watching you live from Ghana. Ye wo for so good afternoon to you, Ryan Lawyer, watching you live from Northampton. Akuya Sewa Sapia. Sansuni Chiwo. Welcome house. Thank you very much for joining us, Chi. Odesheba Nana Kweku made day was say hi guys. Hi, Odesheba at the same so good afternoon. You are doing how are you doing and your family? Rebecca Amwako and so at the end no in your Kwajo to four say watching live. Kwajo one can baby at wo. Another one good to you. Good afternoon. I think that's what you want to me. Good afternoon to you, Lawyer Charles, and your host. God bless you, Adam Tuga Yakubu. Thank you very much. Mumpini Adam. I want to know if BWF Solicitors has a branch in Ghana. Yes. Wumpini, there's a branch in Ghana. If you're good, yes, they have. If you're Ajiso Ade Amaya, thank you very much. Manuel Nekwe, good host and a good lawyer, and sir, thank you very much for your compliments. Thanks for joining us. I hope someone share page and also and code of conduct. Say no, and lawyer HH handbook. Now, or can you have to have a code of conduct. So wafa and nipa say oni onye juma tili duma waba tili. Good afternoon. Nana Ajimai, Senior Minister. Yes, Nana Ajimai is on board. Nana Ajimai also HL. Good evening to you all. NK, Eddie, I don't know. Sansusu, Ena, Yewo, Odesheba, Nana, Kwekube, the Dems, Ubichia, Wana, also, wo Jesuano. Yewo, this one here, quite a big and a long one. Edubwahi, Ubisa, say, Wawari EU member, now application, Yam Farm, Uko Court, now, no, say, dismiss. You had an affair with a lady some 10 years ago when you were in Ghana. The lady is from Germany and currently lives in the UK with a child who is now 10 years. Ubetimi Ejina Kwala, so Aju stay ana. Train Edu, a tree member lawyer. Ashe na we ano ade ama is a promise. Can presence covenant grace I like that. Yenshe Waynes so will say Abang One Smith Cornelius. Good afternoon, BWF. Inti sa obaswa na obomodi na wafa page no wafa link no na wa share ede amayen na fe obi nso so on insa enkan bi no insa ka na nyina ya enjoy. We increase the numbers, we increase our participation, and we increase the discussion, we increase our knowledge and the efficiency of what we are able to do when it comes to the law. BWF Solicitors and a day a brain 2142218 Tottenham High Road, no, so 7 Sisters, North London. Over 0208 493 7340 0208 493 7340. Now, program is so dear, your number ID, Juma, no, send screen, no, so 07950 422 780, and your text and a WhatsApp. Over frame 07399 208 468 07399 208 468. Can a mother rely on her child to apply for leave to remain if her child does not live with her? Eno, any discussion yede brewe ene live on the program BW Communication TV. So okay, yeah, that's it. Sir Ugusu any at here. Tiliduma mehu Margaret Dumen sounds mehu Sanso na mewo Adubo in Covenant Grace and all the other people. Mr. Oba na washe. And you can send your question, any concern no your comments page, you know, so either on Facebook and say YouTube BWF Solicitors any BWTV. Yeah, live at BW Radio, so we are Modern Ghana platform, so and say bwcommunications.co.uk. My dika bo mane what's it but my main day, oya lawyer ni obona homoden na owo lawyer for edwumaku a ye frɛ won BWF Solicitors. Lawyer Charles Asmah yen resource person ene awie na mema no kwan na afi wadane ho di na wachi amo na afi questioner midi kan boss no mato ade amano na yehye nkoma na se lawyer.
Thank you very much, Brakoku, and hello viewers and listeners. And then so you share our FDA. So we want to say we are grateful for your audience and a very good afternoon to everybody. And then so you say why you're ready, you be seeing idea. You far kwenya we so each year BWF Solicitors ejuma 4 enyina. You say ma afu from so we say. And then so you share. And then you be seeing no for so bebre ebeba ho ama afofro. So keep sharing.
Okay, keep sharing now for young Koso. Question and maybe say and can a mother rely on a child to apply for leave to remain in the UK if her child does not live with her? Ubekase is a rare situation where a mother is living somewhere and the child is living elsewhere. About UK asitnemu and any idea it does happen. When and it does happen, what do we do? How can the mother secure her stay here in the UK when Nibano ewo asitna bi obetimi agina so ade and so I share ne de no si ne nan yi but akola ne nyon ne te akola ne is not in the care. What does she do? Lawyer, such situation does it happen?
So now okay no rare ne say bebre no ano nkala no ewo mother no nchen and a father no ewo baby because it might be say papa no and the mama no wo ye no bia omanware sancho no tin baby and akwala no ne mama no eti baby and time si say mama no emom ono kwa na oti ewo baby na papa no
emom no ne nkwala no eti.
There's also an instance bia na even we say bia maame no the situation ti akwala no any obi na eden etie because bia na maame no ne owo wie no awetire yare enti ama ontumi nhwe akwala no santi akwala no ewo obi enchen bia family member bi enchen and so etumi esisa sa akwala no be wo baby na maame no so
Oh, baby. Okay. Yeah. Now, Esisa, we are looking at a question said, Mammy be jina ne banoso. Enti, sa kwadana onni mame ne nchen no. A day en obewa, and unti the woman will have to depend on akwala to make sure so no so setna okay.
Yo, that's the brave. So you started ewo akwala no so. We are na yada akwahwe nia SSA a dear eba mama me no etumi gina sa akwala we.
That's right.
The day na akwala we SSA owo. Emra no fresh akwala for immigration purposes no. Emra no fresh akwala we qualifying child.
Okay.
Into your share section 117D of the Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act 2002 no. Obaka say a qualifying child is a child who is under 18 years.
Okay.
Into what establishes akwala no ya akwala no that is under 18 no be someone say 1 the child no must be British or akwala we ya or under 18 no watna a krom a UK memu continuously for 7 years or more. One can say as I say a won wo krom ho or say watna ho 7 years or more. What it means is say betimi ampa be say akwala no would ni fee or my for so na buy UK or memu or watna UK 7 years or more.
Okay.
And he say we say this is a qualifying child there. It just akwala no o bribi. So akwala no qualify, you cannot rely on akwala way.
Okay.
As a mother.
Okay.
And that is the starting point. So a qualifying child under section 117D Nationality as Immigration and Asylum Act 2002 is a child who is under 18 years, who is either a British citizen or has lived in the UK for 7 years or more continuously.
Enti sa qualifying child no e dey citizen no obekuta obey British and say be okuta indefinite or limited leave to remain be does that qualifying child not fall into any of these categories and I say was say a specific one be
right so na ye share definition no amra no e dey ma ye no edi kan akwala no ndi 18 years yet
okay into akwala. And here no my mention is to say akwala no go college because we did 18 plus. Now na o hwe still on ya akwala bi. My mention so. Okay.
Now only 18 years. No I'm running say either say a British citizen and now say what's now krum UK or memu 7 years plus.
7 years of his life, say a year beginning of in life, no, or within a period before 18, no, at least what not 7 years.
7 years. So I say continuously. Okay. Say I should say break embassy 7 years in the moon. Just say you won't Britain. Now what's need to just say so on your British citizen there, then you have to check what else. The what else in the say we just say okay, now citizen how long?
How long? Okay.
So on your British citizen there, case closed.
No, just we need limitation there.
Yeah. Now, so your braces in there, can I? Yes, we should say we did what's not crew 7 years. Yeah, won't know we did 7 years. You're finding co baby and what's not baby outside the number. Into what's not UK 7 years, because we did 7 years. I won't know. And also say it need fee a man on in a buy or buy and we did 5 years. See, we did 12 years. Just a continuously no what's not
for 7 years. Okay.
And also be falling under the second limb of this test.
Okay.
Like I said, akwala will be to me age now so because of a qualifying child.
Okay. Sa qualifying child ni mame ne nente. Mame no I would need say obi gina ne situation so. I was akwala ne ma consent answer na.
Yo, akwala do ya akwala. Akwala me I know because I don't want my mother to akwala no kaya no mu nim ya
yeah.
Parents no but nia e wo mu ne say once when we say akwala we betumi ejina ne so aya asetena no and I say aju leave no say we be say we say sanya me ne nete a what do I have trust me na me hwe no and I say me hwe no bi
okay
and number no friend no direct access inti maame no must show direct access you say direct access ya boss pa but the brain no ya boss in favor of the men
So this na make us rare because ye dey nim ne say oba ne ne banete mema no na ja ya na o my absentee no makope baby at.
So is it possible so oba no so be absentee no makope baby? But yes.
And you change possible. You tell who but they see.
Of course. And it may be because be na obi o ma esi wona brebo onimpo say obetumi
ejina ne ba no so ayi baby.
Because if you say oh me if some ya papa akwala na papa dia nke bi a metumi ejina no so oh we dia maybe dia me ya akwala na papa ba me nya akwala na ti akwala ne papa na ti me so me ni bi metumi ejina akwala so ti say wonim say obetumi ejina akwala no so. But you have to prove that we have direct access to the child. Direct access is say we share akwala no ebi. That means you have shared responsibility. And therefore you care and support the child.
Okay.
Be it financial support, emotional support, psychological support, or physical support. It will you show physical support no it will be in chain. But my meaning you are akwala na ti. But be a akwala emotional support. Even some form of physical support because be akwala no spend time with the maame no. And how do we prove say maame or share ne ba no bi?
Okay.
Be a na court order bi or baby.
Yeah.
Be a our jaya buy and I say our no whatever it is na akwala no efi maame ni nsemu no. Court aja to me say akwala no ne papa na betina. But maame no so have the right to attend to the need of the child. Nti bia maame no ebekwa akwasra akwala no supervise. And I said akwala no de ne ya da akwala no bekwa ne maame ho. Am na spend time for some time.
Okay.
Now wako. Either contact time or living with the mom some of the days you are proving say or direct access. And also say arrangement between wo ne papa no. Say even though you mean na but I am abesra no. Send your man etumi de letter e support mema no so na be man so betumi support
okay. All right. And in that situation no so say direct access A1 qualification A2 what are the criteria na was say sama me was say meetibio and na say onya two way okay
so two no na say we prove evidence ben na we be prove sa me no Inti ese wo ba meboa. Inti so ya wo ba dia una we lawyer. Then I would be prove say wo ba ni.
Birth certificate?
Birth certificate. Wo birth certificate.
And then the one my lawyer.
I am the birth certificate na to ho a wodin was so said the mother of the child. Into what relationship with this child.
Okay.
Number 2. Then I just say akwala we wo hwe ni bi. With the letter, if you prepare what say, I come and I come, I dance yourself, I kwasra, akwalai, ukwa Eunice cancel, to me the flower, ne toys, na de kwasra, akwalai, ukwa was spending time, now in the homework, ukwa was spending time, now watch one or two things, now uko fee, akwalai to me ba ho, be spending days, and that's the time, utkofano ko McDonald's. Kufana ko park so na there school for credit dance say udin school say we are one of the emergency contacts.
Okay.
GP nso I have to make of our collide no ko GP kra me ye and also say GP so do dance say aya wo dey collide e ba hwa na say udin wo ho as emergency contact. Then you are proving say you have direct access to obeya on ne papa na dey etie and so be fufuro and the case be ye na Mama no wo ye no onya postnatal complications. And na for safeguarding reasons no on to me hwa akwala no. Nti na akwala no e wo ne nana enchen. Na mama no e wo baby. But my to me gina ne be so e de je the 2.5. Okay. Because even though you on ne ba na tie no, ade nyina dia dancer say o hwe ne ba no ebi a owo share responsibility or parental responsibility.
So, what they saw evidence echo na application echo to caseworker anymore. A discretion and obey you soon. And answer once you have ticked some boxes, no, automatically what should say about it? I will say your mouse.
Right. Now a woman no ne say we say equality and a way's application. So you are not getting this on merit. Merit in this we will prove all the points say more financial, more this, in addition to relationship, money akwala no ede. I don't know, so we year under 5-year route there. Ube prove BBA. By hand I was trying to say, who direct access to obey, and therefore on the way by operation, for the case worker, I said the Secretary of State, on consider akwalai na on my setting so that you can continue to play a role
in akwalai life. Okay.
Into a show more, and by merit per se, discretion.
Discretion.
But then it takes us to the point, say, will it be harsh on the akwalai, say you refuse no mamia? Will it be harsh? Yes.
Yeah.
Even though you're on
a mother is a mother.
A mother is a mother.
Yeah.
No cry, no, I owe huni mammy, not all of a sudden I said, oh, mammy, no, until Chrome had beam to huni beam. That would be harsh on emotional, psychological, and the general well being of akwalai.
Okay.
Then it becomes an argument which the Secretary of State has to take into account the welfare of the child who is a qualifying child.
So yes, application sign the amount.
We have application about 2.5.
No matter what, akwalai status.
Yeah, about 2.5. The amount 2.5 no. And I say, of course, you do better 10-year route because you are making a discretionary application. You do better 10-year route so. Now what's not so 4 times, then you qualify for indefinite leave to remain. Every 2 years, 2.5 years, you have to renew the application. Then you have to go back to the drawing board and check the list again to see whether you take them.
Question maybe just from what I said, but there's still another text here says even if akwalani a British citizen, able to have.
Right. You see, uno awunibi. Uno unibi. And you say unibi akwalani has no problem. When I will say akwalai inti omuma asetina. Question is asetina by near the Bamao. Yeah, Mao British citizenship. Okay. And yeah, Mao indefinite leave to remain. Yeah, Bamao kakra what the better child. Just and every point you have to prove say now what kind of caneno nothing has changed. And you continue to have direct access to this child. Okay. And 2.5, yes.
Obi abisa question bi ewa me has written apekede atoswa na dakoa or say is it forced to get documents through your child? By force.
Right. The conversation we are having is not to tell you that go and get a document through your child. It's not force to be legal in a country which is not your home country. Until so we are whole work room ha. Now feel say being illegal, your life will be okay for you. Go on and you live. But we are looking at other things being called. Obi a person unyania no home bed obetumi dia akọ no obetumi dia eden aba. Okay. Enti se nia obetumi dia nyania obetumi akọ aba no eye wo ba emra no makwan se obetumi agina no so no obetumi aboa ma ya hwe no dia because we ni kromo ha akwala no ho be kire no. Na se wo ha na se we ni bi nso a na se ye ka se ye hu se we ni bi nso ko kromo a akwala no ho be kire no. That enti na ebre akwan de mu no wonye no se we ye for the sake of akwala no even if we pair for the sake of akwala no nyabi the way to me at least why ejuma na wa bo akwala ni hwemu at least wo kwana wo ba we yemu enhwehwe for the sake of akwala. So is it force? It's not force, but it's appropriate.
Okay. Laura, ye be hwe na yafa nkofo questions any omo concerns no omo ade ba no wo betimi asende yen text ade afa 0795042270 and also be free yen 0739920848 questions no maybe say bia but won so wo de e wo ho a wo be say obisa enu nti ekwan eda ho. If you want to appear as via video when we say your link no the bottom right screen on the screen, this link there, https://guest.ecam.live, and there's a number. So pick it up if you want to appear on via video. Yeah, it will quite Vivian Ajare wajoini yadasi Kenneth and Tobam also yadasi P Smith Mercy Beatrice Fosu Margaret Adu Mensa Ricky Eboche Sansoso and Don Ike Boating Munina mo sharing. Thank Thank you so very much. Enti send me kaka no and check lines no ya be koso waiting ya 0739920848. Lawyer Charles Asmah waha lawyer Charles Asmah lawyer ni BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors jumekua wo boy yin wodwumedi ma ye de ebro be so say opese lawyer ni eka wasema o ye application or share immigration seminar ade nyina eka na wo de ho bata BWF Solicitors omo 214-218 Tottenham High Road no so 7 Sisters North London. Free one 0208-493-7340 0208-493-7340. Vivian Ajari, thank you for joining. William Sarkodie, Nana Aso Akwaboa, Stacy Latte, and Dodua Wasuono. And when you come on, remember we live on BWTV, BW Radio, BWF Solicitors, Facebook, and YouTube. Nina na watch your page, no like all the pages for us as well. Send me the kind yane lawyer between and komo enti yabeko lines no so na fe yade and komo no afa ho ede abrew enti lawyer we dey wadaroma ene amanfo say omeba ntempa oops mahoma no atiato kan ho bra 0739920848. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Good evening.
Good evening, boss. What are you saying?
I'm Pacho sorry.
Ochedi ampo adaroma ohwe nso ho ye pa. Yo, lawyer wa enti adaroma ma yenhwe na yenti o.
Yo, we Pacho. Ye aware na omo ye application.
But jina ho. Enu amete say yeni ba na amanyeti correcting ye when kasa bi hu. Mana me fa ensanto anim. But aware ye nye. Wo se ma ware?
Yo, me Pacho.
Because all ya aware lawyer, em say na akoye bibi fufuro. Me ye aware. But who worry?
You can buy and just return it if you don't like.
But don't worry.
What worry?
Until me so you correcting us why?
Yo, me Pacho.
So when you offended there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Pacho yenti.
Pacho me worry ye application or me refuse it. Ye call court or me say refuse it. Na be field work me share or baby ni no ko ye enya nchi mu.
Okay.
Ana me nim sesa ye funu kiem. Na me ba krom ha no. Afi na me hu o say akora no me ni share no akora maba. Na o akora no wo Germany ana oni akora na betina krom ha.
Okay.
You say no obitimi akọ na wakoye be certain na bidi akohye so e di aba na mpache ye ni sa metimi di age asetena e wo krom ha na
Also wakoye
oni oba no efa your friend
no
oba na akola no eye German eba nti bisa se oba no betimi akọ Germany e de ono ni din akohye birth certificate no so because me sure say bia as we speak now akola no birth certificate no ma me nko din na wo so nti papa or the papa din kohye so a obetimi agina sa declaration no so ede aba krom ha aba ba ye asetena but dem say be me pese me bisa no bi o ne say oba no waye ni EUSS or the aba krom ha
Pacho
waye
oba no ti ha say
Pacho ane
o ti ha say okay na just waye ni EUSS was settle ha nya sa
Pacho ane
okay
ono yam papa ya no so no wo krom ha
ono so wo krom ha
na ne ba no wo so wo so ne ba oba no wo Germany ana
o krom ha
oba no so e wo krom ha say
Pacho ane
o say under EU law no untumi ye EU application e wo krom ha etwom say wo ye EU application no kan no anka oba no kra betumi so person oboa wo a obetumi because sake of akwala no but say ma get together even though akwala no pie mu no na woni misunderstanding by basanka waji watumu but EU no it's over yen share akwala ya oti krom hai my name say senior ye can assume say because we talked about qualifying child. Okay. In this akwala abaye qualifying child na year because man say akwala what na ha 7 years of continuously. Say you didn't feel baby buy and say ntisa but will be an appendix FM application and EU and appendix EU application.
Okay.
Enti what o suggest ne say so wo krom ha wo de fa nkomo yi bra ifie na yentena ase maybe mu yehu ne ewom na yenka engu wasum na yehu kwan a wo de be fa so why
Okay.
But I'm say the many person who say say me bacho me bawo but akola no obetna krom how many years
Is it on feed?
o mfie du o de no ba krom ha no wanya mfie say
Is it on feed you?
and I just say o assume say akola no qualifying child inti owo and the bia obetimi de na agina so
ha nti e say wakasa bebre but yewo factor ugina so kasa we die sa na tie and I say when you sure okay when we be fear na ye di nkomo na so oh okay we na me wa nti and sa na tie dia bia when you sure kra ya kra you betumi ehu say oh
sa na tie dia had na betumi okay
nti bia we ask certain questions to be able to confirm the fact
okay
abeboa
senior lawyer can so obetimi book appointment ne ko hu empanifo why
I'll show you.
okay so what number no
That's right.
me da say nyame insha okay yen call for so wa ha 0739920848 hello
good day lawyer ne
good day boss I just say
Boko nampomo
nyame adumo
oh okay Kofi Antupam ni
oh adumam
ene de wa ma wiya o
we me hu de ntia wa wiya me no
I am pa
you say ja guide
Oza
okay Antupam but lawyer wa
me were questions be me and say meeting ya bi cha
me ba chat to me
but your first one Mofara case
I'm say Mofara your declaration be nonsense say
okay
yeah the no every ne kuro mu bi na wi ande ne ban no ne ade
me pacho ai lawyer Charles me pacho say hanem the lord me komu bia na say me yehu say en komu bia say because Mofara no me bebre awe no ntika me explanation kakra so ono the other na home office go by immediately say ono de ye man ye nyane hwe eno ye mpacho 1 ena number 2 mpacho me to aso ana
pacho why
mpacho number 2 so ye sa 20 years illegal stay ya the application for long stay
a long stay
yeah humanitarian boy mpacho na me busa se obia say o ye juma bi kura na nye wudin a ubetimi ya declare me ejuma but your question ba ko ambese mu say e bia me nam de me nioma ma nipa ne ye ejuma na ko declare say e bia na Kofi Antupam ene de ne nioma ma no a Kofi Antupam wa ye bone a na so onye bone you know but I know so Kofi Antupam be china tuma na say ye beja no but we dey me fa mienu ni kan ansa na yi ano ma me na
yo but I was and yeah tie na ye fa mu aye no
lawyer Charles
enti edi kan no Mofara case a valid point say adentina ono aja tum say ye wi anu na ba ye
na fe obi ase yan
let's identify let's take note of certain things ye wi anu na ba ye
nti na nya na mfom so
no 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 be wure mu oba ye no ye de ba no no ya kwala we di I think according to we no it was about 9 or so years and
no sir I think about 4 or 5
okay all right until even that 4 years
oh, yeah, minor
no edna ba unim ne yakosumpo number 2 the circumstance sisi obi wo Ukraine ye wie no aba to save life and we have to do whatever we need to do to save life na edna ba na 30 years later no obe declare say this is how I came to be here. Should we say this? I need to tell you.
Lawyer Mr. Antupam, I'm in fact being so question so. The identity ukura say mpo ohema bonaba so oye say sa identity no enye ono a
identity no enye ono but all can say me na me din say ye de me ba no din ye de ma me no enuni say ye hwemu anka be say ye sesa ne din ne ba ye all right ye de ne ba ye no situation until he confided in some people and all this one we keep side din fofra na ye de ma no e be see ende na up say or come out to declare a certain level of honesty and na waka but mo shame no so see they consider so many other factors so it's a holistic assessment or mo yeah
like I mean I'm kucha asantri yanke be chimeto
so we then have to assess your context and say tambe na wo ba ha wo ba den na wo ba kan ye most of the people are antubam related to your conform mobile media edro and omo come story na afi no abra so say omo enya famodie no omo so ebe declare between him pa obedi edro oya adult at the time and akola ye wi anu ye de bae why na the story no ebe ye appealing and some sort of
convincing
no comforting in terms of ehumobro obi an story convincing but why no be ehumobro in the eyes of the public ya ye wi anu bae no onim ne ekoso anasa ne ono abe femu a onim ne ekoso a oso oye bribi enti oyeye edetete ne ho enti na home office forecast say and a normal circumstance no nesi but upon assessment of his case who say all bad no be ayakwala ye wi anu ye de ne bae at that time no say amfana man ka bia bae na akwa wewu obi beka say oh but then ko be survive but what should say ko be to survive obe so we play very key role contribution to the British community a massive and we put all this together.
Yeah, Antubam second question. I'm so no akroko.
We put all this together. In Antubam, more far and the case, you even say exceptional case that requires exceptional attention. You call the second way, you know.
But what was in the answer second question?
I see 20-year rule application. Oh yeah, no. You actually say case law. Emma Quine say. Unya nyoma bi emfam wane a wo ye na obetumi declare say oh brebi me koye adwuma wa ha na me name badge enunie name badge idin a eho no eye
obi de
but you see ye ka ne say obi o ma okọ a because name badge no eye wo say name badge picture was ni e de be so and that's how picture was but obi whatever it is
edin corner de koye no ba photo
whatever it is but na wo can say I was saying, the entire Nipan declare Jumani say, or PBB HSA no room ha. But it's a catch-22 situation.
Okay.
One can't win ya, what can swear, but what true are, you bet you was here. So what will you do? Obeka, one true, they are two was here. Comrade says, I will can't. Why you born in a waka? Already, why you born anyway? To live here 20 years illegal, no, you're born. In terms of breaking the rule, they will break it. What do you need number 2? Where we are on so akwa ejuma. But now can say me wi me hu ye ejuma. Me wi me hu ye ejuma. Sa brewe na me wo krom ha. Na wo su bi say, were you here? Na me say yes. Evidence be na me wo say me na me wi me hu ko ye ejuma no a. Your friend me John Mensa. But picture here was you can see say me anti Medino any Charles. But Sabrina me wi me hu ko ye ejuma no I had to survive. Tina me wi me hu ko ye ejuma no. On the question is says I never know boa me e ma me nya ejuma ye no ne ho be kire no ana. Nipa no ne ho enkire no ma ne nya yie. Se betu kra be says I nipa we no ono pro no anya aware empo say obi
ekowia na ID.
ejuma. So why do you punish this person if you get to know today? Pachawati say. And you went to me punish side nimpa we ma ne nya yie. Ti side nimpa we ndie oyo okay ye fa na sam no ide and to ho. Na yanka ye nwen asemu ya ye kan say we wi ne ho aye adwuma sa we declare say sa adru we no evidence date each say no wo krom ha obetumi I rely on that anwa yes obetumi I rely because a tro no a otwa ye no otwa kire obi we ntwa ankyere aban na say ye hwemu no kra na all kan no kra na all kan me bo a enya ntro.
Okay.
Because I am sure that we try to say me ye juma da. But also my ejuma pain, even though na me here say emra ma kwan say my ejuma. No correct and I say no correct. No correct, why can't no correct? We can draw actually buy.
David.
Nti entro bene e wa ha say.
0739920846.
We know a buffer and I say last resort position. So we evidence we pull cards, GP letters, be a bank account, we run it all right, but we evidence GP report for 20 years. Then you don't even need to declare anything. So we are Juma. Because you don't need that evidence.
Okay.
But where you need to bridge the and I say show say what had because you have what gaps date
no so
you have no choice. You got to tell say oh no crab we wa say e be ye adwuma na mmra no to and I say mmra no nto mmra no say we betumi rely on the case of any.
Okay. 0739920846. Hello.
Hello, Babu.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm castle line the cutting.
Clarification. I'm saying lawyer Charles can be for more Farage. More Farage, I'm about to make clarification. When More Farage was 10 years ago, I would need or confining social workers or confining teacher. Teacher and a year passport man to call and let teacher knew say I'm very more Farage. Whoever satisfied as witness at the back of the picture there. This is a true copy of Mo Farah, my boy. Abra they knew say Mo Farah wasn't Mo Farah. It you know, sad year honum kakrana there. Lawyer Charles, me feel say buy no yes na or mo because I know a similar case say I look at it, I said na be man in so ban in your no in the passport. If say Mo Farah about after the and we did 11 years now or no one yet he knew he confided in the social and he called them and told them say the Yemen teacher na mukra he knew it honor and may that to may second question with 20 years no na here finally say me ana me ba me na but na me stay and me dem na year 20 years. But me ba first no na no me student visa gini. My age 20 years, which anytime year juma, but my age 20 years. Now me kodi long stay na no so me declare my ebony and na me ebony. Ndamasa.
I'm saying me nimo, but it's bordering on morality and conscience now instead of the law.
It's more of morality and the law. Because the law is as it is. I say prove say what's not Chrome had 20 years. One can say prove say what's not Chrome had performing activity legally for 20 years.
Okay.
You're only proving residence. You're not proving what you did with your time.
But prove say now
and you'll be responsibility to pick you up and say, oh, we are unquay juma and I feel the attention you know be daily. But case worker now or show what then I know. All you have to tell him or her is that Martin had 20 years, maybe evidence in here.
Okay.
And it's starting with the difference between your no question number 2 and then question number 3 and question number 2 and say question number 2 no so be dear na would ye juma. Question number 3 and say so wow would na would ye juma. So why would na would ye juma? But just on it here.
But
either way, no, you are proving say what's not 20 years.
Okay, so
and that is what you are doing. Say, oh, there's a catcher one. Oh my gosh, I didn't know juma. Even though we don't say, oh, other means there. Imagine you have 10 options. Which one will you go for? You go for the one straightforward. But when you have only one option, and that option is the fact say, oh, evidence such as what's not high, and the only evidence are your pay slips are near the mouth. The only evidence is a bank statement I see from even up to point at where's application. Question is now when you I don't know fame. They are not picking secure home. They are picking say, okay, so I'm what's not high 20 years, evidence in here. And this GP report there, let's say 20 years, it's even easier, you rely on that. But you see, we are discussing the law, the position of the law.
Okay.
And the law position is that case law, Emma Kwan said, Obia, we are to be able to survive. Because what do? Do you find a way to work and earn a living and survive legally? Survive legally, not work legally. Survive legally. Because if you are not surviving legally, it means you are going to steal and commit crime. Survive. So if you are surviving legally, even though through a juma and quine what says a sanka ya, I don't know day no case worker no you see so person call her cry, we look at the just like Mo Farah case, we look at the circumstance no. Under the circumstance no, was it okay for Nipa way to do what they did under that circumstance? And ye and if you want no yaba say okay, or person prove this what's not 20 years. The evidence in here. Then I walk just ampa ewa. Within was so, date was so, address was so. Asa. Because address which I say will crum her. Date which I say 20 years no, uwaha. Idina was which I say, dear media application, a yamia, and now say, a D way, a yamia, but a yamia and a master some at a point because people change their name for familiar reasons and social reasons and even religious reasons. If it didn't work with by a one or one within, and you have deep poll to even prove that there, then who am I or who is the caseworker to say, if you have evidence?
Okay, Azimam, why okay? Oh, okay. I'm so okay. Me promise you will be me de or no ne text no ebeto so ede amano nti ma men kan we emfa ma lawyer na onya no ma o say o are I'm say nipa na ye ne edi enkomo ne dubo han
yeah that dey na buy
on no dey na buy nti
afra
bisa nti then we can skip to another one me wo bako ewo ha I say lawyer, let me know my the chances. My daughter visits me from Ghana on a visit visa but decides to stay. However, she's likely to turn 18 years this year, which will make it more complicated to bring her back should this child return to Ghana. What are the chances and the possibility for this child to stay with me permanently? Or baba, or besano waha. I'm saying obviously question a lawyer baby sa on say was it na ayedai. And Bofrano AD 18 ne kone ne ba no ebeye den kakra nti upese abofrano etinam. So the initial premise is abofrano yeah and as a work as no kra no ayeden wasetna ayeden minim say no ebetimi aboa mo ya no man lawyer.
So let's make even assumptions say asetna no a ye kan ho asam bia ono na asetna no ye fa say ono kra no ye British citizen and also a settled person. Sa prepare ya kana asemi sa na etie dia ne ba no e wo krom ha waba wo krom ha sei ena den no betumi aye ama ne ba ya wo krom ha sei senka ne ba no wa hadada ena ono wo ne settled status a owo ne ba no ansa onya ne de what will he do oba register no ba no meboa kwamrano makwanse sa wo ba na echre no wo be ye settled and so be ye citizen a utumi register wo ba no
as British
citizen. Now ena number 2 so ne ba no wo anyway ba akwano wa so we are not even discussing foreign way sa akwala no wo baby foforo then say na akwala no ewa ha no ye na ya assume say ono no ewo settled status and so okuta British citizenship no akwala no ye wo no baby ene ye ne ba ye nti ye hwe say age awedi ene ono akwala no ane suitability in terms of so on committee crime bia then the person can make an application to the Home Office for consideration for the child to be registered under the provisions of the British Nationality Act.
Okay.
But your papa no angasa.
No. Okay. 0739920848. Wow, Manso, hello.
Hello. Good
yes, sir.
afternoon, Brother and lawyer Asmah.
Good afternoon.
But what can I say to you?
You may a very short one. Let me maybe say me a family member now. My application for me settled. But first, we application now among or address and go so more certificate of application now among or address and go so. But since me apply for me settlement. Well, I'm a TCO, I'm a name address and go so. Meaning, Sebia time in answer, you are not on the good to an answer, BB. Now, Sebia Newton, maybe tell us Newton.
Yeah.
Now, secondly, so
Okay.
Maybe old card, you know. I know, I met me there, no, and no still, I know still, I know, ultimate trouble. Abraham, maybe try me settled status, no. Patrol.
Okay, lawyer.
Okay. And see, let me start from number 2. And see, the second question is who our card I'm weird. To me to quiet.
Yes.
So card ni weird, and I just say you still have leave.
Yeah.
And you will leave there, which me up and watch me about.
Okay.
Number 1, no, who be say o certificate no of application ya address was so. Application 1 away and as a lawyer na yema.
Me, I'm the buyer, no. I'm the buyer, na address no also.
All right. So 1 away application on fine. Obviously, address now was no doesn't really make any difference. Yeah, address was so address in this way doesn't make any difference. And the second no more the address back. Na ano one for addressing to so and I think the address there to so they are just addressing the letter to you thinking say omo post to first no em say na omo email it if you email it but I say
still when you email stand on the buy
email yeah you make us say so we email it because you have to post you have to send that thing in the normal segments I will prepare so way you know so the address because be an echo and just so much as we say no you have address and go so that be an nipa person use no this can identify them and where they live well. I think something they have started doing but it doesn't really change anything. Why?
Okay.
Okay, all right. It has CP. Over on me after 07399208468. We text message any WhatsApp messages and also EBFA 07950422780. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Say. Okay. Ma neso kakre bi ka ho.
Aha. If I saw my problem, yani say me was 10-year route me so. Na me 2.5 so I think next month and my biometric so for a year now mensa enka bibia intimenye adwuma so of late year na NI no so eba enti me wa ha say be few days ago and a lawyer friend say me share £230 na on find application for biometric. Na me catch and say, no be a make sure plan de woka. Makoya ageni so wie, train na me train say be ba a delay. Na woka se me tie afu frosa dia, me tie ase, but woka so ni se me ye aduma. It is kind of me nim. And I say, se me yakwa home office for be sorry refund me sika na man. Na me say no, say home office for ni say my ya na me san kan e bia. And there omo hwe na omo manimbra. Dan sell, Masaya application for biometric number sign HSS scan. If you're not done, lawyer no so why time bia and I no see ebeba my trail letter call home office. My trail and I no to sa ama if you have to be say main call job center. Omo beboa me. Nyankasa na obi ka kire me na me call job center na ampa omo boa me ma me fili bibia ne ade na N9 naba. Lawyer ne sans player was say me fa me na number ni man. Nya me ani man farmer because me nim the ode ye. Enti no man farmer no. Na me pese me hu say time aso ya me ta papa ye me next application no. Biometric ni bi no e be affect me ana. Mpa cho masem.
So you concern nyina na say o time aso. O biometric we ye o ko enroll ye no e mai. Enti be affect you because we 2.5 na so o renew.
Me patron ai.
Also,
yeah.
Well, okay, so biometric or embaya. Biometric ni appointment I'll be buku. No wako bo nsano. But wako bo nsano.
Makobo me stand by me nya card bia, me nya.
What dey gina mama? Wako bo nsano ewie.
Me pa try.
To what try say home office for ebe decide what application. No be say omo dey amawo. Yes sir.
Me pa try.
No omo dey ba, omo dey card no so abrel.
Me pa try.
Into decision in by when you letter say the amount.
Me pa try me letter de ha ye the amount fra 2.5 and e be next month.
Okay, all right. Yo, into na hope trying say o letter na badada card no embaye emampo letter no bewu.
Yes.
Why dey achepa o? Na lawyer no can say e bia na card na yera. Yes, I know. Nti obeye replacement application nanka waje card ofoforo sa na tie. Maybe. Maybe sa na tie. But na woman say, "O say be next month." Be next month.
Me ba try 1st September.
Right. Next month ni for renewal and say we dey we are indefinite.
For another renewal, say na my first 1.5 na the ama mata koye next one.
Oh, okay.
Right. I am more say 2.5 years no still there no embaye. Card na there a check there but enche bebre sa. Enti to the extent say all this one winya ye emfanye adwuma mpo no eye wanwa.
Okay.
Na lawyer no HC with them people say ade no mbaye ana.
Me ya o say o chesi so embaye sa na wo kan but say ye no sa na wo kan.
Right. Anyway, so we hear application no say renewal na dia. Say na our story no atie. As say we kan wo say ade no omode ma wo no. Oma card no watwen ya be si sa time na we application no embaye. So what just here. Santi untumi if you we application omu bi say o card number no fashion so. And we need be I don't know more or less we need be. So you just say we need be. Na letter no aye de ma no eno na obegina so there your application but we story no emunda ho yie emame enti ebia bibu kakra ho a opesa wo de kan ho e wo fie a wo de opa ba wo so be renewal enti be bia mu
but say we know is with another lawyer enti a delicate kakra
yeah so what she's saying say oye ready no okorenew a what do I then from all kind I don't know what her position is. But it appears to me, say, she wants to seek second opinion on the matter. Okay. Because onu feel say, nyame bi eden insiso emano. Because you don't say, I mean within ade be next month there. Even kwaye replacement application into me mba before ade no ebe wu a wo kwaye renewal.
Me ba cho sa na me ka tell lawyer me say, me kwaye kra me nsa enka. Enti no me kra me
Yes, since an answer would you renewal no, so prepare to do your renewal. By renewal, no, your mama could be aware, say, which me declare Emma application no say, they can card number into one card number empo. Number 2, when you post a card never day because you're the trust why a mouth day be until now would you know when you will let her know at the mouth expiry date na shame 30 months. To be calculate 2.5 no a die best no. You just say wait to calculate.
No, September.
September, no. Right. So you know the expiry date of the leave. Just a card no way nya. And when the lawyer no kasana bisa say, sisi ano a card number no sa brothers now kwa your application renewal no a. Obaya ne dan ana.
Lawyer me pa lawyer ne ho de mi nko bi onti anu kra na mi bisa se ma ne ho bi o ase mi bi.
Right. Okay, well, say a wider market with a lot of sellers. And our own same baby a opese odi o how efa. And baby a would be call on matter of what say this some na we hu na ewo. Right. Yo. And
many about him for office number no nefre you want a second opinion, you want a different na anyone kasa. So between your boy definitely on Bajoba. Why? But oh number no.
I mean so nipa kro na hu ye so ni me.
But I say
Me say enipa kra o kasa na o ye phone so nti na wu mi ti wo be hu me.
Mate.
Yo.
Yeah, that's CP. Yamin show. Okay, you sure name 0739920848. Hello.
Okay, you sure name 073.
But dum radio na any enkasa phone so why? Hello.
Hello, Mpacho. Good evening.
Good evening.
Mpacho bibia boko de.
Adum any humo bro.
Bro, kuni lawyer. Wait a question about very quick, Pap. Miss Mikita 2.5 na spouse visa. Yeah, and I'm person visa lawyer say Mpacho who renew a eche. Say cha nanka me priority and as saying. And I say me normal one and no chet the other ones.
Yo, Mpacho awesome. Yo, mama Mpacho ujina ukunu so na wode ya wode no
Le Mpacho ane.
Nti wode no ye marriage. Obviously necessary unya senya wo kan no na wode kwaye wadwuma but sikan ai wo ho no na ya e man crofo decide na kwan baby a mo be ye no and say how am be ye no ba ko ye 2608 pounds na ba ko so ye 3200 about pounds in so wo sika obetumi de chia 3200 something dia command dia measure on crime say fafa priority no ho no
because
priority no within 1 week no ukobo wonsa no within 1 week bi nkura dam sada no na aba within 1 week na wonsa aka obi kura mpo a wetumi aba before ebewu but what the first standard no dia excuses ni be covid excuse ni be so Ukraine excuse ni be pressure aba home office te beka ni nyina kira wo say ade no ache enti koso na twen but at least in your case no so you have a choice to say say me fanko no maka say mama me excuses
me wo sika ne dia na kwa
priority me priority why
okay mpache you
so I will encourage you if you can afford
okay
yes that's the pay nyame ensure lawyer we fi any k hall was say foreign student obetwin apply visa with her family at the time after receiving her master's here in the UK, and what are the requirements? I'm saying.
Right. And the student no Okroma has say from Newakan, I say foreign student
apply.
Can a foreign student apply
for a visa with her family at the time after receiving her CAS or her master's? I think.
Right. I think we're lumping together. It's clear because. When your master
over me as another message.
PhD now, your man of CAS because CAS no precede the course. CAS na whatever your application, visa application. That's the certificate of admission to study. And this certificate here will say abedadai when you're a master's and so it's not quite clear. But young fano say signing way or your student still. A person ne family from abroad, yes, they can depend on him as a foreign, as a student, you know. So my Emrano Emma Equine. Safi na wo be application for another study na fresh casa. Baby a wo ye eba no bra wo ye no betumi de busuanfo no so ayeden aka wana sa wo betumi aba echire no na wo de busuanfo no so a join wo. And depending on angle, no, what's a question in your clinic, but please do get in touch and let's know exactly what you wanted to say. Why?
Okay. Young share way so or say what application form do you have to use? For one if you could Mojito Fiaka. If you can give us what application you are referring to and what form you would want to refer to, the lawyer can help you. Please, can I register my Ghanaian customary marriage certificate in Accra, Ghana, if it was celebrated in the Volta region?
Right, so can I register
my customary marriage certificate in Accra, if it was celebrated in the Volta region?
I mean, you are Ghanaian, you have married in Ghana customarily. And you want to register. Registration is with the government. And you which may register in region one, and that's a district now where no course you can also choose to register it elsewhere. The law of registering marriages in Ghana does not say you have to register it and I said, you have to follow the registration process and register. As long as I register, no fine.
Fine. Okay. The next one here, I say, I want explanation for my issues. Our 10-year route must remain, and the first 2.5, okay. I'm saying, you know, by in a fray, you know.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, in your band of friend. CP. Your court line also 0739920848. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Rick. Good evening, Lawyer Asmah.
Good afternoon. Design.
Sorry.
Yeah, good. It's good you've called. That's right. Very good.
Yeah.
But what's lawyer?
The student is in Ghana or Ghana 6 here, but I feel when you're in a cast, like or sending necessary requirements, bank of your application, including the family or Baba Akona or
he can do that.
And on that person may find out what are the requirements, and it was based on a scholarship.
Right. Well, I thought the first question was, can he make the application with the family? Yes.
Together.
And the requirements are that he has to, also it's on scholarship. So the scholarship will prove that the tuition is covered and maintenance for himself is covered. So he's okay on that. He doesn't have to provide bank statement for himself, but he has to provide bank statement to show that the wife or the partner can be maintained. So the £12,000 must be declared in a bank statement, and it should be in the account for at least 28 days. 28 days. And that means, because of the account, the maintenance will move from 12,000 to cover Nkwalano and so. So most people would come in, settle, and invite the family to join or to visit.
Okay. And with 20 years long stay, I think it's a note be well, but I will messaging. Now, lawyer, I say maybe semina me dem ne mama will be na me boy and they can't find out. But okoye we na ja you can say bank statement at least PC state subscribe chere and CP45 bechere so because it's linked to your address. And how can such person who bet me catch on so you weren't aware so will be useful or document.
Right. What I'm saying, what the person was asking is say senipane ko wia obi adie ediye juma. That's the only way, because ordinarily no won forward dem komo obi so mfanye juma. The only way is say nipa no oba far when you aware no so dey akoye den ejuma for. But what you say?
So na me patchere no say Matthias yes sir, but then there will be proof be say maybe we will tax code besisa and I be besisa en chere say okrata no obi dey year juma.
Tax code ben
so obi onipa ne dey year juma, so obi ko wia ma dey no dey year juma. Definitely I hear information be when yam information be na or dey year juma no.
Yeah, but the point is we are not talking about tax liability ebe kosro. The point I am making is say who person we your application based on long residence.
Yes.
But Marana say you have to prove say you've lived in the UK.
Yeah.
Under paragraph 276 for 20 years. Yeah. So because obi mo ba na okọ. It is what now 20 years then I would be prove. E be asa nimpa we evidence or God or declare ni be the first say wa koye ejuma. Enti on the to start with no wa koye ejuma nti bi our bank statement check say be 2014 no our bank account oye ejuma. They are not picking up on ejuma okoye no. Because that is not what you are asking them to do.
That's not the main way they are basing on.
You are telling them that you've lived in the UK for 20 years. And this every year, this is your evidence.
Okay.
Now, what about Obia? Where we are no waye juma. Na akoda nkrofo n'anim na wakaka say, me wi me hu ye juma, because now you are in a tight corner and you have to declare so we are on waye juma. So what does the law say? So the law says say we are no waye juma, but what kind of credit say no wo krom ha say for the purposes of residence.
Yeah.
And to the home office no, the person is telling them the truth. The first time say we are no home so the issue will be with the tax office and the employer no we are no home and no no. But with the home office there's no issue.
All right.
Just say we don't encourage say that should be the primary evidence. If you have other pieces of evidence, rely on that. But where you have no choice, then this remains your only choice.
Okay. So with that, no, sorry, can baby or maybe and Crawford and for that long period, can they guarantee that if only record be a chairs are not like on Crawford himself what's not hatchet? Can that be used in a way?
Testimonials are used. However, the law is as it is said, proof say you've lived here. Okay. And the proof so must be documentary proof. Yeah, right. Your name on it, the date on it, and address. Because when they document be about just name and date there, it could even be in America. So you have to show say a UK address to show that you were in the UK. But so we need be and you have some gaps in between there. Those family and friends, or those friends, no, munim say you've lived here all those period, no, can vouch and write some testimonials to say, this person, we are the ones we have been supporting over the years. When he came to the UK, actually he was living with us, or we have been friends since this period, and this is a letter to show that. That letter can be written by anybody. So it is up to the caseworker to say that's fine or no.
No. All right.
Okay.
Even though people use it.
Yo, me that's lawyers, my records, so me that's say.
Okay, I'll see that's the I mean, ain't sure. Antoine, thank you for your compliment. We one big question. Maybe say or say, who apply for indefinite leave to remain as a spouse of a British citizen, and we're meeting all the requirements except accommodation because landlord no say on man a letter at a time. You make to me consider no for indefinite leave to remain, and I think so if I'm automatically giving another 2.5 instead of indefinite leave to remain. And later within 6 months, I rent my own house with my I rent my own house with my partner. Can I still apply for indefinite leave to remain?
Let me start from the bottom. Indefinite leave to remain is a counting time approach. Mm-hmm. So you've counted your time, you've done 10 years legal residence in the UK, mm-hmm. depending on if yours was the discretionary route. Mm-hmm. You've qualified. But now you pay can say time or an indefinite application for one reason or the other we meet requirements. Mm-hmm. And the man automatic 2.5. As if he's starting the process again. Mm-hmm. If in the course of that period, we already were covering 10 years.
Right.
So he can put in the application at any time if he now meets the requirement. Now, back to the first point, say landlord no say, tenancy. Mm-hmm. You pay money to somebody on contractual basis, say, you live there as tenant and he will allow you to live there as landlord. Then they must give you a letter, a tenancy. All you have to do is just go to the post office, pick the tenancy form, give it to them to sign for you. Because by law, they have to give you tenancy. Mm. If they are not tenants, landlord, but they allow you to lodge with them, mm-hmm. then they will complete the lodger form. From the post office, you go there and pick the lodger form. Then they will complete it as well, to show that that's where you live, but you have to prove accommodation.
Okay. And to the comment we have to say, I said maybe for some good reason, also you can talk.
Well, you see, I think he's making a point. It's what we say, why we say, and what we say and why we say, and the circumstance. Mm-hmm. So I don't think. I don't think it's a lie as you put it, because if it's a conscious lie, then I don't think it's something we'll tolerate.
Okay.
Right.
Well, folks, we've been discussing the issue of whether a mother can rely on the child to apply for leave to remain in the UK if that child is not living with the mother. And if you pick more concerns, any questions, no, bebre. Ubetimi a text a day a brain 07950422780. Announce ubefraying a war 07399 208468 07399208468. Sabri EDM say Brennan T will be going to our Queen segment na fe yede jumedi no aba awiye enne kai say BWF Solicitors ena ede ebre. Well, I was here, saying about your barber to us, so some kind of Yenia Penny lawyer Charles Asmah, Ewaha, or boying and you questions and all concerns, no, and no. Now, we're taking through the topic now, we asked a very interesting and very important question, and he has been gracious enough to share his knowledge, give us what the law says, and our position. Yebeko yam quiz no so anunti answer no me sign enko lawyer hona me miss say dey be say is there any other thing probably you'd add answer yako yam quiz no so?
Yes, remember we touched on direct access, and we said you have court order to have access to the child Mrama Kwai, because you have proven say you have access to the child. However, you cannot use that court order without court permission.
Oh, okay.
And this is purely safeguarding reason. Because you find kwalanyoma and bedroom just like that.
Yeah.
The court now ma order no a document.
Exactly.
Yeah, anonymity directions na there eba. So you have to go back to the court to tell them that this is what I need this for. And the court will give you permission to use it. So we are now use our Home Office will reject the application. Will say no, you haven't proven that.
Because there's a court order.
Because there's court order, and you need that court letter.
Okay.
Of course, they will come back and ask for it under the evidential flexibility rules.
Okay. Well, lawyer, you share quiz and mode Emma no. Now, the evidence menu has been sponsored in the UK by Onana Care Home as a carer under the Health and Social Care Skilled Migrant Route for 3 years. Menu wants to work extra hours with another business to earn more money. Which of the following statements best describe what the law allows men to do under the skilled migrant route? A, as Menu is living legally in the UK, he can work extra hours with any other employer for as long as he can. B, as Menu is sponsored migrant, he can only work for his sponsor and no other employer. And C, as Menu is a sponsored migrant, he can work for extra 20 hours with different employers who is also in the care industry or with similar occupation code. I'm saying you've seen some weeks back, and not necessarily the nuggets na day bro, and then me say me the muko school mubicha. Menu has been sponsored to the UK by Onana Care Home as a carer under the Health and Social Care Skilled Migrant Route for 3 years. Menu wants to work extra hours with another business. Another business to earn more money. It did this way and saying which of the following best describe what the law allows Menu to do under the skilled migrant route. A, as Menu is living legally in the UK, he can work extra hours with any other employer for as long as he can. Or B, as Menu is a sponsored migrant, he can only work for his sponsor and no other employer. And 3, Menu is a sponsored migrant, he can work for extra 20 with different employer who is also in the care industry or with similar occupation. But you will text no about yeah platform no so and I'll be sending you my 0795042278. Medical in your back and Sacrana Mafre Lawyer Berman Abna Tivo SCAB. B no SA as Menu is a sponsored migrant. He can only work for his sponsor and no other employer. Would you know CAB? Antubam edinede about CAB, same as I was reading. Nanaya also the B. Okay. In her text message line also, has anybody sent his or hers through that route? And Yanko Kweku Kevin Asamoah, Kevin CAA. As Menu is living legally in the UK, he can work extra hours with any other employer for as long as he can. Next one, Tilly Duma SCAB from YouTube. Nanaya CAA. Yanko Kojo CC. Okay. Ya Mary CAB. Your next one, Erajua CAB. Young which next accent? Don Ike Boating SC. C. Don. Let's see what C says. As Menu is a sponsored migrant, he can work extra 20 hours with a different organization who has a similar code. Yawachi YB. Let's see ASC. What do you know about what's up? No, YB. Well, this is make a YB ne photo no bad in that's one so say Yawachi. Biananera. Okay. YB, let us say. We'll say what's your answer? A C. Okay. Now, Minko, this next one. Thanks for your participation. It's been very massive. Diners upon or say A. Okay. Next one here is what? Mojito Fiaka. CAB. Mojito, you didn't send us the explanation of your question. Would have wished that lawyer answered it for you. So if you don't mind, please send your question again, because when you brought it, it wasn't something we could relate with and relate to very well.
We'll give all the forms available, then potentially whatever he can then choose from there.
Oh, okay. So what forms are we looking at here?
So we have from FLR FP4 for doing under family or private life. Mm-hmm. We have from FLRM if you are doing based on marriage. Mm-hmm. We have set O, we have set M. These are indefinite leave to remain applications. Mm-hmm. We have from AN for naturalization adult. We have form MN1 for registration children. Of course, we have the paper form if you are doing the Zambrano application that you have to complete by paper.
I think I found the answer, the question, 20 years long stay.
Right, so that will be private life, so FLR FP form. Okay,
FLR. And he says he will call you during the week. You are very much welcome, Sir Obefre. Kenneth Antubam also CP. Okay. Okay, he says he will call. Thank you very much. Margaret, do mensa also DNA C. Okay. Well, lawyer, young na question no.
Right. Okay.
So
Brakoku, from the scenario, Nipa Way is sponsored, and we have permission to work, and the sponsor is the guarantor.
Okay.
So you do what the guarantor has asked you to do.
Okay.
And you are going to do that for 3 years. As long as you are with that guarantor or sponsor, that is what you have to do.
3 years.
If for whatever reason you choose not to stay with that guarantor or sponsor, and you want to go elsewhere, you have to then go get another sponsor. You need another sponsorship, whether for 1 hour work or 100 hours of extra work. So your work for 3 years should be with this sponsor.
Okay.
What it means is that even though you are in the UK and you have 3 years leave to work, you are restricted to that employer.
Okay.
So, yes, Menu is legally resident in the UK, but the job he can do is enshrined in the sponsorship certificate now, or one, and the contract now on the employer no, one. So he cannot do anything else aside the contract or one. B, that means he has to stay with that employer because he is being sponsored by that employer. C, even if you think the job now open time, so you have extra time on your hand and you want to legally work, then remember you are here as a worker. So if you are here as a worker, then you need a license to work or the sponsorship to work. If you are not here as a worker purely, but you are here as a student, then you can work for anybody except that you have to do 20 hours during the school time. If you are on your own 2.5, then you can work for anybody. But if you are being sponsored by a particular employer, then you work for that employer alone.
Okay.
So we are happy to see a lot of people have looked at the scenario and see A possibly, C possibly, but B appears to be the main one in terms of complying with the law and the sponsorship we know one.
Okay. So lawyer Ede answer no Ede ama yen ewaha. Enti I have to try.
So but we can now we are also looking at the fact that if the person has some sort of let's say you work for this Onana business we are talking about. Your license is this sponsor is the main license holder.
Okay.
Now, we are looking at, can I do extra work on this basis, whether it is with a different employer. But we are also looking at whether the employer has, or this new employer is able to show that it is not going to be a restricted job. Now, a restricted job would be one that you cannot do outside that particular job that you have had. And that's when you know. Until let's say you are a carer, now when you're another, you are working for this care business. Now when you're on the side, another carer, we just have to check, say, okay, so carer, we so no, or the same code, no be ana. But at the same time, this carer must give you some sort of permission
to work for.
Yeah, so the question is, can you have parallel?
So for instance, K&M has license, and a yes similar to Onana K.
Onana, yes.
So then, if you want to work extra hours for K&M, you can, but I have to have that license to employ you.
So there should be some sort of permission alongside to show that you can work, because they're more or less they're on the same line, the same sort of work or the same code within the occupational coding system. But you have to show that you are allowed to work this particular or do this particular job as well, in addition to whatever you are doing. Now, but if we look at B, A, and C, you realize that under normal circumstance, you have to go for B. But looking at also C, you ask yourself, is the government potentially allowing some sort of a leeway or discretion? Maybe now we are saying that a lot of we are in shortage, and therefore we need more hands. So if we need more hands, then why not? Why do we restrict people to the people? And the normal thing that should have been the approach. But again, there's discretion in this instance, and therefore, as long as you are not breaking the rules in terms of restrictions, then yes. So if we looking at B, A, and C, B on the fact of it, but C is also allowed, and therefore looking at this, we'll go for C.
Okay. So Mohammed C by let me see. Where are your comments? My comments in at your for review. Okay. My comments no me page free screen so no. Or baby akota. So those who gave me as B, no, but C is the correct answer under the circumstances. And T, senior lawyer Achirimuno, as Menu is a sponsored migrant, he can work for extra 20 hours with a different employer who's also in the care industry or with similar occupation code. But we now obetimi and a BWF Solicitors edi ho enkomo say oye obi a opese your mouse sponsorship license na ho application hu se ne obesi ayena omodi ana and a BWF Solicitors eni enkomo free one was 0208-493-7340 and now 077-127-61880. Lawyer, briefly, sani ya na oye no, and then I'll DJ answer na ya sorry.
Yo, me that's bebre am say no ya combine the brofune language.
Yeah.
And we just finalize it in English. So viewers and listeners, thank you very much for your time. Today we have looked at a mother who wants to rely on a child who is a qualifying child to apply for leave in the UK. The position has always been fathers relying on their children to make application. But if you're a mother, you can also rely on your child if you do not live with this child. The child must be a qualifying child. That means the child must be under 18 years, either a British citizen or has lived in the UK continuously for at least 7 years. You also have to prove that you have direct access to this child, i.e. they live with somebody else, but you participate in their care and support. If you're able to prove all that, then you can apply for consideration to be given 2.5 years leave to remain in the UK, which is renewable, but you still have to prove that you still have direct access to the child, if at that point the child is still not living with you. The direct access provision depends on the approach or how you obtain the direct access. If it's an arrangement between yourself and the child's father, then there will be a letter from the father to confirm that. If it's an arrangement through the care system or social service, and the fact that because of your circumstance, the child is living elsewhere, but there's the paperwork to show, then you can also use that to prove that. However, if it is a court order which gave you the direct access right, then you need permission from the court to be able to rely on this evidence that you will present to the Home Office. So we've also been able to answer some questions that you had, and we are hopeful that we've been able to address the question we had for today, the fact that can you apply relying on your child if you're a mother and the child lives elsewhere? Yes, you can, if you have direct access to this child who is a qualifying child. Thank you.
Well, and your day ABC now you draw the curtains down. We, as lawyer said, you bet me I apply for leave to remain if you any in change, especially if it's a mother. That young boy, peaceful. Yes, you can relate with your mom and things will be fine. You have questions and no concerns and also now you're faster and my BWF Solicitors say or share now fee with Dijuman and my lawyer Charles Asmah if we won't say about weighing BW TV so that and comma Professor Ade, my studio director and manager, and also to Padmo Dodu and Sheila Ankara for doing the admin and all the production work for us to bring you the show. So and lawyer for war BWF Solicitors Yadamunina say lawyer Richard, lawyer Patrick, lawyer Asmah, who's been here, lawyer Eunice, and our fee pending for war administration and accounts and all the other departments of the firm. So and a wow here so but yes I can say because without you wouldn't have had any audience and would have been speaking vainly into the thing. But whatever it is, you stayed with us, you asked your questions, meaning serenity. Yes, I crank questions near the end of the your friend will recruit for important. I have the opportunity to come your way again same time next week with another edition of the Community and the Law. Until then, please stay safe.
Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough.